the Prime Minister came home empty-handed with more tariffs on softwood and automobiles, but he made a massive promise of $1 trillion of investment that would leave Canada to go to the United States. He said that this would be part of the agreement that he expects to get. So right in the agreement, he's going to commit to moving $1 trillion out of Canada. Yesterday, he confirmed it would be private money. So how is he planning to do that? Is he going to pass a law forcing our pension funds to move their money south? Or is he just going to continue with high tax and anti-development policies that cause investment to flee?
Here. The right honourable Prime Minister.
Good answer. Good question.
Think about it.
Mr. Speaker, I was there. And I was there in the conversation with the President. I was there in the conversations in the Oval Office. I was there in the conversations afterwards. And the situation is this. We have the best deal in the world. We're in the process of making it better for the workers in the steel sector, for the workers in the aluminum sector, for our energy workers, for our auto workers, for our workers in forest products, for our workers across this great land, because we believe in Canada. We will not rest till we have the best deal.
Hear, hear. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
What we have is the fastest shrinking economy in the G7 with the second highest unemployment, and he was there. So he has a duty to tell the Canadians, who are the owners of this $1 trillion that he wants to push out of our country, what is in this deal? Because he said it would actually be in the agreement that he's going to move $1 trillion of private money south. So there's two ways to do that.
Read it.
Is he going to pass a law forcing investors to sell Canadian investments, putting people out of work here, and invest in the South? Or is he going to continue to kill jobs with high taxes and anti-development policies that send money away?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Hit the like button, guys, if you haven't yet already.
Mr. Speaker, I know the honourable member was not here when this government cut income taxes, cut capital gains taxes, cut the carbon tax. I know the honourable member was not here when this government passed legislation for one Canadian economy and to build major projects across this great land. But the member opposite will be here when this government presents a generational investment budget November 4th, and we hope to have this.
Hear, hear. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
We must be on to something here, because he has $500 billion. Canada has invested $500 billion in the U.S. over the last 5 years alone. Probably $1 trillion in the next 5 years if we get the agreement we expect to get. So this is what he said. This is after he has failed to get tariffs lifted on our auto workers, our lumber workers, after thousands have lost their jobs, after he created the second highest unemployment and the worst growth in the entire G7.
Yeah.
So here's a very direct question. He's committing $1 trillion Canadian investment dollars to head south of the U.S. Has he secured an agreement that President Trump will send the same?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, Canada has no tariffs on auto parts. Canada has the lowest tariffs on finished goods in the world. We are working towards an agreement that will increase investment in Canada, that will increase investment in the United States, but we will only accept the best agreement for Canada, and the private sector, remember that, will make those decisions.
Hear, hear. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, he says he's going to put it right in the agreement, so presumably he's going to enforce it somehow. Another Liberal contradiction, another failure and broken promise by this Prime Minister. Let's go to energy. Just days ago, the Prime Minister voted in favour of an energy cap that would make it impossible to fill another pipeline. Then he woke up and discovered that President Trump has, for the last 8 years, supported the Keystone XL pipeline. Now, we know that as long as he blocks production in Alberta, we won't be able to fill that pipeline with oil. So what is he going to fill it with? Maple syrup?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I voted, as did others, a majority in the House, voted against a motion to get rid of something that does not actually exist.
That's right.
Okay, first, it does not actually exist. Secondly, we are working with the private sector. We are working with the province of Alberta. We are working with the Americans trillions to unlock great Canadian energy to build this economy.
Yeah, America's going to own the Canadian
The honourable
pipeline
member
if you
for
keep it
Bella
up.
Chambly.
Since the Prime Minister took office, nearly
Yeah, Michael
$54
Barrett.
billion investment dollars has fled our country. Yet the Prime Minister said that Canada will send the U.S., quote, $1 trillion in the next 5 years if we get the agreement that we expect to get, end quote, that he expects to get. Well, it's Thanksgiving, and I'll tell you what Canadians expect. They expect a Prime Minister who will stand up for investment in this country, who will stand up for Canadian jobs. So when will this Prime Minister do that and finally stand up to the Americans, stand up to Donald Trump, stand up for Canadian workers?
Yes, sir.
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to inform my honourable colleague and the members of this House that we have provided billions of dollars of support for this economy, including $5 billion in a strategic response fund, Mr. Speaker, and we're doing this while supporting our workers, supporting sectors, including auto, and maintaining Canada's AAA credit rating and the lowest net debt to GDP ratio in the G7. Mr. Speaker, we will get the best deal for Canada, and we will take the time that we need to in order to get this done. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Leeds, Grenville, Thousand Islands.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to inform the Minister that Canada has the fastest shrinking economy in the G7.
Yeah,
I'd like to inform the Minister that with this Prime Minister, it's been all about concessions. Back down on their DST, back down on softwood lumber, back down on auto. They've backed down on investments, and they've backed down when our workers needed them to stand up to Donald Trump, like the Prime Minister said that he would. Auto plant closures, steel plant closures, layoffs across this country. Canadians want to know why he's sending $1 trillion of investment to the Americans. When's he finally going to stand up for Canadian workers?
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
He doesn't care.
Mr. Speaker, on this side of the House, we actually believe in the potential of this country, and in fact, the statistics are bearing this out. The lowest net debt to GDP ratio in the G7, inflation, and wages are working in Canada's favor. We will continue to grow this economy by investing in the workers, by investing in sectors, and we will do this while making sure that foreign direct investment flows to Canada, where we sit at the very top of countries as ranked in the G20. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
We're losing our ranking every day.
Lethbridge.
We're going further and further in that.
While in Washington, the Prime Minister bragged that his Liberal government has already driven $500 billion of investment south of the border over the last 5 years. And then he proudly vowed that he would send another $1 trillion south of the border if we get the agreement that we expect to get. In other words, this is exactly what this Prime Minister wants to do. He wants to drive investment from Canada to the United States. So much for elbows up, hey? So here's the choice. Does the Prime Minister plan to order Canadian pension funds to invest in the United States? Or does he plan to continue his anti-development projects or initiatives?
The Honourable Government House Leader.
We have this disturbing trend about the Leader of the Opposition making something up, and then members down and up the line, they even add on new and very intriguing figures and facts, Mr. Speaker. We don't quite really understand, can't follow the logic. Here's what I can say the government's doing. It is in negotiations with the United States as we speak. The Minister for Canada-U.S. Trade is there. We're going to negotiate a great deal for Canada, and we're going to continue to build Canada strong, Mr. Speaker.
It's all just posturing. What's in the works?
Here's what we know and can't be refuted. We know that Canada has the fastest shrinking economy in the G7. We know that the unemployment rate is the second highest. We know that Canadians are already struggling to be able to put food on their tables and take care of their families. And now we know that this Prime Minister went to the United States of America and promised that he would drive another $1 trillion of investment south of the border, therefore putting Canadian families at a disadvantage because they won't have jobs. What will this Prime Minister do to put his elbows up and stand up for them?
Holy smokes, man.
Honourable Government House Leader.
Once again, Mr. Speaker, taking the Opposition Research Bureau stuff and just repeating it does not make it true. What we do know, and Statistics Canada would confirm this, is that Canada's economy is in fact growing. And what does growth mean? It means we're adding value to our economy, adding opportunities for workers. Of course we're concerned about job losses. Of course we will continue to defend Canadian workers right across this land. But one thing's for sure, we'll take our statistics from this side of the House, Mr. Speaker.